Hey, welcome to SE Custom Designs. It is now Saturday, and after speaking with my wife, she reminded me that there were some additional upgrades to this unit that you see in blue, and we've been doing a lot of work on this guy. And so basically, this is going to be part 4, if you've been watching the series, basically taking an existing unit and repurposing it. So that's what we're going to do. So doesn't that look cool? Now we're going to cut that down, okay, and we're just going to put this guy onto here so that things can be set up there. I don't know, I kind of like this, the way this is. At any rate, so what I did is basically trace out this part here, the sides, up onto transferred lines like this. Did that on both sides, and then we're going to basically take this over to the table saw. We're going to rip that off, and then we're going to basically dado this part here is going to come down into here, and that's going to make this very strong, stronger joint than if it were just butt joint. We're going to take care of that over here on the I'm going blank when I look at tools these days. The radial arm saw. I actually got the router out because I thought I can just clean that area out for the board with that, but then this is a lot quicker. And this is what you have to think about when you have too many tools. I told you in the 90s I didn't hardly have any tools, and I still got work done though. I really wish I had a picture of this huge pine cabinet with drawers. It was huge, like an armoire, and I actually sold that at some point, but I made that in the humble wood shop. My very first wood shop was over here in the Maybe house. We're going to be having a show here, and if we zoom in, come in close, my radial arm saw was over there. I had a long table in the back, so obviously this is newer, right? It's not a part of this 300-year-old Maybe farm. This is now been given over to the Historical Society for many years. We knew the owner of this house, the present owner, not 300 years ago, because that would be cool if he lived that. He would be Methuselah or something. And so you could see that there's some time period folks walking around the back. They're probably planning some kind of coup, some kind of bad thing. All right, so that's where my wood shop was. So at any rate, we got 2 shows coming up. That's going to be where one of them is. So that's that, and we're still using, amazingly enough, the sacrificial piece. If you watch Series 1, on 2, and so on and so forth, you're going to know that we had a sacrificial piece. Sacrificial piece was to make the pins. These are the dovetails. Okay, these are the tails, and these are the pins. And so you make these guys first, and then you make the pins. And they want you to practice on a scrap piece until you get it right. And then once you get it right, then you work on the actual pieces. Okay, try to imagine if those that was expensive wood, so you don't want to figure that out and get it wrong. Okay, so I actually went ahead and drew this out this morning just before this part 4, just to show you where we've been coming from and what it looks like on the paper. I highly recommend that you draw things out along the journey, and it really helps you to visualize what's going on. Okay, just basically transferring those thoughts from the brain to paper. All right, so we're going to take care of that. We're also going to do some fun stuff. We're going to resaw. We're going to cut this board. How would you do that? I need to cut this board down. I don't want this divider to be thick. Okay, I want it to be thinner. So how in the world would you do that? Good question. You're going to do that over on the radial arm saw. They call it resawing. That's how you make veneer. You can get veneer, thin pieces of veneer. I wouldn't do it with this stock, this pine stock, but you know, your kind of expensive woods like this back there, that's African paddock wood, cherries, and these types of really expensive woods. At any rate, we're going to go over there and we're going to show you how to set the bandsaw up so that it doesn't have bandsaw drift. And we'll talk about that when we get over there. All right, so let's get moving here. The first thing I'm going to do is take care of this. Okay, let's do that up. You're gonna hear me talking in the wood shop, but you're not gonna necessarily see me because I don't have a camera that I can just mount on my head. I had one, and even that had its challenges, my friends. Oy vey. So let me turn the fan off and you'll be able to hear me a little better. It is officially summer, and I have a dehumidifier on, so let's shut that off as well. So I'm going to go grab, let's see if we're still winding here. I've done videos where I set the camera down and all of a sudden I've got nothing. I have 3 seconds of video. So here we go. I essentially just traced that out where I want that to go. Okay, so let's come over here and take care of that. I got the dust collector hooked up to the table saw. Make sure, my friends, that you take your blade and you stow it. I haven't had, that I know that I can recall, any accidents where I haven't had any accidents where I've touched this and that type of thing. But you know, when you get busy, you just never know. By the way, my humidity levels are coming down. I recommend you get one of these guys that tells you what the humidity and temperature is. You don't want a lot of humidity in your shops. Taking care of that part, and now we're going to come over to the ready arm saw and continue doing the work. That noise you hear was probably a piece of wood that the dust collector picked up. And I hope my camera's still working, because this phone has been doing weird things lately. Okay, so let's just oh, sorry about that, man. Y'all have told me that you need Dramamine when you watch my videos. Because things just move around. Yeah, I'm videoing, but yes? Yes? Stop. No. Keep doing what you're doing. I was just asking about breakfast. Oh, whatever you cook, I'm happy. Alright, so there we go. We're going to go ahead and just reapply this. We want to make sure that we're not going to cut the wrong pieces off, right? So let's go ahead and take this piece, take him off. Okay, now what we want to do is we just want to take off a little material in here so that it will just sit right down in here. Alright, so we'll just do a little re-verification here and make sure we're good. Okay, I think I'm going to turn it this way. That's where the lines are. So what I do, just as a tip, if you're new at woodworking, I do these squigglies here against the line I'm going to cut, because sometimes I'll have an extra line. Whoops, I didn't mean that one. So I watch and see where my squigglies are touching, and they are touching, it looks like, the outer line. So here, let's just re-verify. So where is this guy? Measure twice, cut once. I measure a million times. No exaggeration. Alright, I think I'm good for this line and this line. So this is the line. I'm just going to go ahead and erase this one. I don't know about you guys, but when I have a gazillion things on my mind, I don't need to make a mistake. Some simple mistake like that. Alright, so let's go ahead and raise this guy up. How much I want to take off, I'm really not sure how much I want. This is just doing this on the fly, really. So, down in there. How about there? Does that look good? Or there? Alright, so now we're just going to remove this material. Alright. And I'm going to put on my earmuffs because this is going to be loud. Like I said, there's so many different ways you can do a thing, so I just wanted to remove that material quickly. I was going to use my router, but that would be a lot more setup. So let's not do too much work, more than we need to. Alright, so there we go. That fit in there really nice. So I want to point out the fact that I do things bigger than they need to be, so that I can adjust after the fact. So if we take this, I'll bring it over and show you what I'm talking about. So I let this go a little bit bolder. Okay, so I could sand that back. What if it were shorter? Well, there you go. I can't just add water and it grows. So, although that is a carpenter trick, that if you have a nick, by the way, let's say there's a nick here in this pine, you take water and you drop it down on the cavity, right? And then the wood is going to raise. Do that several times until it raises up. Then you sand it. So that's a trick that I learned, I don't know from who, so many years ago. All right, so we got that taken care of. Let's move on to making the divider. Okay, so we mentioned that I don't want to, this is that last piece of scrap, by the way. Pretty cool, hey? We mentioned that we want to use the same species, same wood, and we're going to go ahead and come over here and do some resawing. If you haven't picked up Lux Pro LP 363, get them. These are little triangular units with magnets on the bottom, and they are amazing. So you can stick them anywhere you want. I will use these for when I'm sanding, and I want to see more when I'm doing this type of thing. So we're going to go ahead and set the camera down and try not to knock the whole world over here. Let's set the camera down, and hopefully you're going to be able to see most of what I'm saying here, my friends. All right, so 14 minutes, gotta move along. So if you have a bandsaw and you try to rip this piece of wood, resawing is what it's called, you're going to find that even though everything looks square, you set everything square and parallel, like my fence here, and you start sliding it through, all of a sudden this guy starts going this way or that way, like it has its own mind. Well, it's all about how that's been attached to your wheels and, this type of thing. But Carter thought about a solution for getting rid of bandsaw drift, and it's called, let me turn these lights on now, it's called the FAST system. So I just really need to pick out one of the bars down here. We'll do maybe 1/2 inch. Really, what's determining the thickness. Wow, can you guys see me? Let me move this a little bit more over like so. It's the last piece of, hopefully I don't knock stuff over, the last piece of the sacrificial piece, but it's got this groove, and that's where the Luan went for the bottom of the drawer. So really that's going to determine the thickness. And you know what, 1/2 inch looks like it's the deal. So how does this work? Essentially, how it works is you take this bar and watch the episodes that I do in my shop, and you'll see so many ways to use this bar for measuring the router depth for your bit. So anyway, you stick it here, the magnet sucks onto the blade, and it will tell you the orientation of where this guy's going to go when you're cutting. So then we take our fence. This is the Mag Fence 2, by the way. I got the auxiliary riser there so that I can cut more taller stock. Okay, so you're gonna make sure you don't touch the bar, of course. So I'll kind of just move it along like this, and I'm going to bring the camera over because I want to show you how off this is, and that would have been a really bad thing. Then we lock our magnets down like so, remove the fast, and it's actually not that bad. Yesterday it was different. I wonder if humidity has a lot to do with these types of things. So, right now, being that this is the last piece that I have, I don't want to practice on this one, right? So I have to find, and I neglected to do that, a piece where I can at least, let's use this piece here, all right? Because I want to make sure it is going to indeed not wander off on me. So what you do is you take a pencil and you draw a line where that blade is going to be cutting, okay? So what I do is I just stick it behind the blade. Just make sure that I got that locked down. I do. Stick it behind the blade. And then I just make my mark then. So it looks like it's about right here. Okay. Then, once we've established that, I'll make it a little longer. That way you have some rough idea if it's going to be doing what you need to do. Now I completely didn't orient that the right way. So let's turn it upside down. So I do my videos on the fly here, so you can see the real world. This is probably what's going on in your shops. Okay, so let's check it out. All right, it looks like it's doing a good job. This is going to work. This is going to work for me. Just bring that in. If I tap my camera like this, it kind of refocuses. So that looks good to me. I'm going to be okay with that. Now I am going to go get my ear protection because I like my ears. Highly recommend you get something with a radio in it, something like this, so that You can protect your ears and listen to the tunes. Okay, my wife brought me food, and that's the universal sign, flashing the light. Thank you, honey. Yes. This is another practical tip for you. I can't tell you how many times that I'd share if you were here. My lovely one was right behind me or just there, and I'm running a tool. And I jump out of my soul jumps out of my body. So, all right, let's do this. This is called resawing. Oh, we just need a little sliver. Okay, I wanted to just showcase for you, well, I just on the fly showed you what I like to use to keep my fingers safe. And that is a really good idea when you're using the bandsaw, not to have your fingers there. So you can get your little push sticks, and this and that and the other, and push it through, that type of thing. But this assured that I wasn't going to get my hands anywhere near. This is the GRR Ripper from Micro Jig. Look up my episodes on that, but I just demoed that for you. This can be used on the table saw. That's where it really shines. But it really shined over here too, my friends. So it has this little adjustable unit here that you can catch the back of the wood, and it'll help. So you got these rubber bottoms and this that catches to push it through safely. I had no concerns that I was going to do something really bad to my body. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and spray this off real quick. All right, so there you go. That was not bad. So now I have this last piece, and I can certainly take this piece and use it for something. So we'll toss that over here. This could be a little mini push stick if I need it. So now we get to use one of our tools. Whenever you're done with your your bandsaw, take the pressure off of your blade. It'll save your wheels and so on and so forth. And make sure you unplug for safety these types of units. Okay, so I'll just bring these guys along just in case I need them. We are going to use, let's see if we can get ourselves set up here, our planer for the very first time. here at SE's Custom Designs. I purchased this guy some time ago. Let's bring this back as far as I can. Oh, sorry about that, folks. And let's pull it into focus here. Actually, we'll take this and there we go. All right, so there it is over there. We're going to go ahead and get that guy set up. And let's give it a go. I'm very excited about that. Can you tell? Let me plug this in too. So we are now at 25 minutes and rolling. All right, let's see if we can get this going real quick. So when I did my shop reorg, I put my dust collector in the center of most of my power tools. And so I can quickly connect it up to table saw, in this case the planer. This is a very powerful unit, by the way. It's one of the best benchtop units that you can pick up. It's expensive. It's about $600. Put that there and hope I don't forget it. $600, a lot of money, you might say, and I don't even use it a lot. But again, as I mentioned in my videos, you're going to find that you're not using your tools for a long time, but when you need it, boy, are you glad you have it. Now, can I sand that piece out by hand? Of course I can. But why not have an excuse to use my tool? Okay, so again, the tool is unplugged. And last time I saw one of these used was with my friend down in Windham, New York. And you can see that episode. So I'm just going to take it easy here. So, by the way, just a quick overview. There's a blower inside of this unit that will push out the chips. It's stellar. It's amazing. It's strong. You can see videos where they're shooting it out like 6 to 10 feet. And they argue you may not even need dust collection. At any rate, I'm going to definitely use it. One of the whoops, why didn't they think about that, was they put the chute, I'm trying to get this out of the way. That's the problem, is they put the chute in such a way that your hose is in the way. It's like, whoops. I don't design tools, and they did a stellar job on this guy. So you just have to plan ahead a little bit so that this isn't going to be in your way. Okay. Whew. So he's going to be plugged into there. Hopefully I won't blow the circuit having these guys here. Let me go ahead and not do that. Sorry about this, guys. I just want to try to set up for success. So we're going to take a line and put that line dedicated to the planer. You will need air protection. Having watched videos before to decide whether I want to buy this or not, having watched videos, I'm told that it's really loud. And so there you go. All right, are we ready to go? Let's give it a go. Let's find my ear protection, which I should probably leave on my head. All right, I wasn't able to take off too much because we're already at that size there. So at any rate, I would say it did a pretty decent job. You can see what they call Skype, and basically that's a little bit of a valley that it digs in there. And when you have a short piece, you know, that's probably going to be real easy to do. Your longer pieces, when you feed them through, will have Skype on the edges possibly. So at any rate, this is not critical, mission critical. If so, then I would have